Welcome back, besties. It's your mother, Brittany Schmitt. I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. How are you guys doing? Happy Monday. I need you guys to know that I'm going to be in Nashville and Raleigh in June, the 17th and 18th, I think. I don't know. It's on my website. I should be better at this. I should be better at being a comedian. I should be better at promoting myself. I should be better at believing in myself and my dreams. But has anyone seen my hopes and dreams? Because where the fuck did they go? They're not in Palm Beach, I'll tell you that much. They're not in Palm Beach. My dreams ain't here. I've never had a city reject me so hard. And I know you guys have said, be positive, be grateful. And I am. I have a beautiful home. I have a healthy body. I have a father I adore. I have a really smart sister. I have great friends. I have so many good things going on, but life can be like good and bad at the same time. That's the dichotomy of life, ladies and gentlemen. It's never all good or all bad at once. And sometimes I think when you're in the middle of your best years, you don't know it. And you don't know it until you get into one of your worst years. And I think that's what this year has taught me, is that I didn't realize how great all the other years were. Listen, God bless Lexapro. You know, if it weren't for me and my Lexapro, I would have been off a fucking balcony. This balcony, I live on the 11th floor. That is dangerous, you guys. I haven't been sleeping well. I'm aging like the devil. I was looking at my face today. I've also been chain smoking cigs, you guys. Chain smoking cigs. I'm so fucking stressed and I'm sad and I miss my dog. And you guys, speaking of Biggie, the man, the myth, the legend, I got him a little custom urn. It was so cute, like this little white, this pottery lady on Etsy does little custom urns. And it was a little urn with his name on it. And I got the box today and I had to emotionally prepare myself. I was like, all right, his urn's here, which means I have to transfer his ashes into his urn. And it's going to be a lot like the Big Lebowski, you know, the tin can of ashes, and they fly back in my face because the Florida hurricane winds, the gust hurricane winds are among us. So I was prepared for my Big Lebowski moment, my Folgers coffee can, ashes in the eyes. And then I opened the box and I was like, what is this? It was 2 little cups, 2 little blue cocktail glasses. And I was like, oh, the world is begging me to relapse. Oh, I think that means the good Lord wants me to drink some fucking tequila. Nothing has tested my sobriety from alcohol more than living in Palm Beach. And when I say nothing, I mean nothing. So anyway, you guys, I'm doing great. I've been ripping cigs, getting wrinkles. I'm recording this podcast in the dark right now. So if I look spookier than usual, it's because it's me alone in my apartment with my big ass fucking light, and it's almost dark out. So I just had to get this podcast in before I go to New York. I'm spending a week and a half in New York, 10 days in New York. Mama's going to get her groove back. She's going to go do some stand-up. She's going to do some more stand-up. I have so much writing to do. And here's the thing about when your life is horrible as a comedian. Pain, for me personally, makes the best jokes. And I have just been getting curb stomped by pain. Like actually fucking mouth on the pavement. Like just curb stomped. So I'm really looking forward to turning this pain into something productive and going to New York and trying to make some jokes about how I asked the vet to also put me down with my dog. You know? So yeah, I'm excited to go to New York. Excited to go to a city with energy, with culture, with people that are a bit more like-minded. I'm just excited. I'm excited to get out of here. And like I said, I've been ripping cigs and that's not great. But I did just see an article recently, and this really made me happy, that a lost Chinese diver survived 5 days underwater. And his first words to the rescuers were, "Do you have a cigarette?" And I love that so much. I sent it to Mike. Hang on, let me pull it up. In July 2025. Okay, so it wasn't this year. It's last year's news, but it's still important news because cigs are back, baby. In July 2025, a Chinese diver named Wang became the center of an extraordinary survival story after he got trapped in a flooded karst cave system in Hunan. I don't know how to say that. Hunan province. He remained stuck underwater for 5 days inside a small air pocket deep in the cave, surviving in complete darkness and managing to stay alive by catching and eating raw fish. Sushi, am I right? Rescuers launched a large and risky search operation across multiple regions before finally spotting a faint flashlight signal that led to him. Despite oxygen levels dropping dangerously low during the ordeal, Wang was pulled out alive and even able to walk away without assistance, later drawing attention for his calm reaction when he simply asked for a cigarette after being rescued. That's me. That's me. I'm trapped in a fucking cave and all I want is a Marb light. I used to be a P-Funk girl and then I stopped doing cocaine. So I was like, nobody needs the fucking Coke bump cigs anymore. The Coke bump cigs are out of business. Started smoking Marbs, but like, why am I smoking cigarettes? Like, I know they're back and they're fucking cool again because nobody has the will to live in this country, because it's like back in the day we used to want to live and have like a nice old healthy life, you know, grow old, have grandkids, live on a ranch. We had the will to live back in the day, but we don't have the will to live anymore as a collective. As a country, you're seeing everyone ripping cigs. I've aged myself 10 years since I moved to Palm Beach. I look today and my fucking crow's toes, I know they're crow's eyes, but I call them crow's toes because Kourtney Kardashian did once and it was really funny. The crow's toes are getting crazy and I just got Botox. So that's 100% the cigs, but these comments really made me laugh. For a Chinese person to survive 5 days without a cigarette is truly remarkable. Someone said, well, did he get a cigarette? Someone else said he needed some fresh air. His desire for a cigarette kept him alive. That's literally me. Like, I have been waking up. And listen, I got so spoiled for a minute. I was getting the best sleep. I was feeling so great. Life was real good. I had it by the short and curlies, you know? Well, no, I didn't. No, I never did. But I was actually getting really good sleep before Biggie died. And then Biggie died. And there's just something missing in my life. And it's that little cuddly dude in between my tits where he liked to lay. That was his favorite spot. He kept them separated. Like, I don't know. What's it called? The Red Sea. Separated like the Red Sea. That's what he just was like, right in between there. And I miss him, and I wake up missing him, and I go to bed missing him, and there's just like this hole in my life, and I feel fucking sad. And I haven't been sleeping well. So I've like the past 2 nights got maybe 6 hours of sleep collectively. I had to wake up this morning and drive my dad to the airport. He's been here working on the bagel shop, and they had like yet another setback with that. So they have to like get more permits. So my dad went back to Wisconsin, which I'm actually so grateful for, because my dad loves Wisconsin summers more than anything in the world. He does his garden, he plays baseball, and he was like really fucking sad to come down here and just sweat it out in the dog ass Florida summer heat. I don't know anything. I think it's the wettest, dampest, hottest place in the world. It's disgusting in summer. I don't know what's up with Florida. I'll be honest. I don't know about Florida. And if you live here and you love it, great. This isn't for you. Skip past it. But what the fuck is going on with Florida? And I feel like people have been saying this for a while, and I just didn't listen to them. I was like, la, la, la. I'm in love. I'm moving to Florida. Dumb bitch. Next time your friend says, we're moving to Florida, don't let them. Don't fucking let them. All right? It is swamp ass city out here. I walk to my Pilates studio. It's like a 6-minute walk, and by the time I get there, I'm like full swamp ass, wet ass fucking pussy. Like, I think actually Cardi B wrote that song about when she walked around in Miami in the summer. It had nothing to do with how horny she was. It's just like the swamp ass of Florida. It is hot. So anyway, I'm really jealous that my dad got to go back to Wisconsin, because the Wisconsin weather is radical right now and the Florida weather is not radical right now. Look at my hair. I look like a lion. Oh, by the way, you guys wanted to see how the Berber hair oil is doing. Look at this. My hair's almost all back. It's not all back. I know that I had more and it was longer because I was looking at pictures the other day because I was so excited to show you guys. And I was like, I think it's not fully back from the inside up. That happened like well over a year ago, but I've been doing 3 oils a week, and Mama's mane is coming back. So, sorry, I'm drinking so much water. I'm so dehydrated. I've been ripping way too many cigs. That's the truth. But anyway, you guys, isn't this fun? I started a podcast and then my whole life just unraveled. Isn't this just like a blasty blast? I feel bad. I come every week and I'm like, we're going to be positive. We're going to talk about how life's great. And then I'm like, every week I sit down and I'm like, I don't have the will to live. Do you guys have the will to live? Could I borrow your will to live? If you have a single fuck, could I have it? If you have a loose fuck lying around, could I have it? Because I don't give a flying fuck about anything. I've lost all my fucks in 2026. All my fucks went out the fucking window in 2026, okay? Woo! It's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. I will say this, though. When Biggie was dying, I whispered in his ear and I said, I know you're going to a better place, but could you just come back as a turtle? Just show me turtles so I know you're with me. And you guys have seen so many turtles. I went fishing with my dad the other day and we caught a huge sailfish, by the way. So fun. We caught a sailfish and a couple mahi-mahi. And as we were boating, we saw two big, I think they're called waterlog turtles, and they were mating. And I was like, that's very funny. Biggie has a sense of humor that he's showing me two turtles fucking, because in his life as a dog, he never had the opportunity to punish me the way I punished him by making him watch me fuck so many men. And he had to sit there and just be like, is this okay? Is this okay? Are you being hurt? What is going on? Is everything okay? And he just had anxiety and he would shake while I like hooked up with dudes. And then I think it's very funny that in this reincarnation, he just showed me two turtles fucking. He's like, fuck you, mom. And then also, if I'm looking for it, so I live on the intercoastal in Florida, and there are sometimes, like up until he died, I had maybe seen like 2 or 3 sea turtles. And if I'm out there and I'm looking for it, I will not see it. But if I'm just like walking by, this little turtle's been coming up. This little turtle's been coming up and being like, hi. And then he goes right back down, and I think he lives there. And I was pretty excited about that. And I'm just seeing turtles everywhere. I didn't notice before that there was license plates in Florida with turtles on it. But when you're looking for something, you see it. It's called reticular activation theory. I don't know if you guys know about this. Reticular activation theory is when you are looking for something. It's kind of like when you buy a car and then all of a sudden you see that car everywhere and you're like, wait a minute, has this car been everywhere the whole time? Yes, it has. You just didn't give a fuck about it until you owned it. And then once you owned it, you gave a fuck about it. So you started noticing it. So humans, we obviously have a filtration system where we can't take everything in. Our brains would get overloaded. And for survival's sake, we only take in what's important to us. And it becomes more important to us when we're looking for it or when we have it. So like Max just bought a Bronco, and I can't tell you how many Broncos I've been seeing. I'm like, is every car in West Palm Beach a Bronco? Like it feels like it's exclusively Bronco City over here. And that's called reticular activation theory. And so I'm having a bit of reticular activation theory with turtles. And I didn't notice until Biggie passed that some Florida license plates have turtles on them. And that's very nice because I'm like, oh, Biggie, hi. And then also I was on a plane the other day and I put on Paw Patrol. I don't know why. I don't know what overcame me. And like the opening credits, there's a turtle. You would never think on Paw Patrol, a little turtle family. So anyway, Biggie's here and he's hollering at me and he's fucking in the sea and he's having a good afterlife. And I just want you guys all to know that, even though his urn didn't come and it's 2 shot glasses. I was like, should I just like put his ashes in these little shot glasses? His urn will come. And also I'm going to go to LA at the end of this month and Chris and I are going to spread his ashes on the beach because we used to live in Venice Beach between the beach and the canals. And every morning when we could, we would either take him for a walk on the canals, which is beautiful, or we would take him to the beach and we'd let him off leash and he would sprint up and down, up and down, up and down. And he would tire himself out and he loved the beach so much. So we're going to take him to the beach. And then Chris used to take him on a bunch of hikes. Like that dog was so fucking strong. He could go on like 15-mile hikes, no problem. And so Chris is going to spread some of his ashes on the trail and then we're going to spread some on the beach. And then I'm going to keep some in the jar whenever that comes. And then that's kind of it. That's kind of where I'm at with old Biggie Smalls and his body. I am starving. I forgot to feed myself today. Do you guys ever do that? Does anyone ever just like forget? And then all of a sudden what time is it? 7:16 p.m. I think I had 1 protein bar. I'm getting lightheaded. Anyway, thanks for coming on this journey with me, besties. We're having the best time, aren't we? Oh, life is a mess. Life is a mess. What's going on with you guys? I wish this could be interactive. I wish you guys could talk back to me. Sometimes I sit here and I'm like, am I a fucking crazy person? I just sit in a chair and I rant and I like scream into a fucking microphone and a camera and hope people connect with it. Anyway, I know I'm crazy. I was walking home today from yoga, from hot ass, dog ass fucking Pilates, not yoga, sorry. And this woman was coming towards me, and I've been making an effort to pet every dog I see because I'm just like, oh, I just want to like love these dogs. And I've never been like that with other people's dogs. When I had Biggie, I was very much like, I have my own dog. I don't need your dog. But now that I don't have Biggie, I'm like, I need your dog to love me. And so I've been trying to just say hi to dogs because I love them so much and they're so sweet. And I don't know when I'll have the space in my heart to have one again because it's such an unbelievable, I just can't imagine going through that pain again. I can't imagine putting myself through that pain again. So I just don't know when I'll get a dog again. So I've been stopping to say hi to local dogs. And there was a mini long-haired wiener dog named Theo, very cute. I met him. And then I was walking home from Pilates and this woman was on a walker, right? She's on a walker. She's got big diamond earrings in and like some fancy outfit on, and her dog's walking towards me and it has bows and it's walking. The woman and the dog are walking in slow motion. This bitch looked like she was walking to her funeral. All right. I'm not being ageist. She just looked like she was on her way to the grave. Like she looked like she was dolled up in a way that was for the casket. Right. I'm like, all right, this bitch is barely hanging on here. And I said, hey, can I pet your dog? I always ask because honestly, Biggie didn't like to be pet that much. So I would always say, you can try, but he's like not that friendly. He would never bite. He just didn't like people. He was like me. I'm like, I'm not going to hurt you, but I just like might judge you and give you a side eye a little bit. And that was like Biggie's whole personality. And this woman says to me as she's in her walker, right? Still just going a half inch, 2 centimeters at a time. She said, no, I'm in a hurry. And I was like, by the time she said, no, I'm in a hurry, the pet could have been over with. That's how long it took her. She's like, I'm in a real big hurry today. I was like, oh, honey, you enjoy the last hurry of your life. You enjoy the last hurry scurry of your life. Cute ass dog and his fucking bows. I guess it was probably a girl, but I really laughed at that. I was like, that's fucking hilarious to be going so slow. She said, no, I'm in a hurry. And then she still wasn't, not even was she not past me. She still wasn't even to me. Like I asked her in advance and she just said, no, I'm in a hurry. And she wasn't to me. And then it took me walking past her to get past her. Like she was going so fucking slow. And I was like, and you know what? God bless that woman for a boundary. I love a bad bitch with a boundary. And may we all be 97 and a half years old with big fucking diamond earrings on, a walker, and a bad attitude and a fucking boundary. Because what is life for if you don't get older and give less of a fuck about other people's needs? That's what it's for. You got to just take care of your own. If you're in a hurry, fuck that bitch. Maybe she did just lose her dog. None of my fucking business, you know? And I loved that about her. I was like, fuck yeah, you're in a hurry. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Oh my God. I just started reading a new book called Everything is Horrible and Wonderful. It's about the death of this tragic heroin overdose, death of a comedic writer. He died, I think, by the time he was 30, and his sister wrote the memoir, and it's beautiful and tragic and ripping my fucking heart out. So sometimes you guys want to know what I'm reading. So that's what I'm reading. That's what I'm up to. Something that I did recently that was really fun. I saw it on Instagram. It was a stupid little prompt, but I had fun with it, and I want you guys all to do it because I want you guys to be dreamers with me. I'm a little dreamer, right? I want a great big life. I want to graduate out of this chair in my half kitchen, half living room to a different chair in a studio where they're paying me lots of money to do this. You know what I mean? Like I just have big ambitions. I want to make a TV show. I want to get my movie made. I want to sell more tickets when I do stand up. Like I want this podcast to go to the fucking moon. I'm very ambitious, right? And so there was a fun prompt on ChatGPT, which was tell ChatGPT what you want your life to look like, and it'll write out a day in the life. And it was just really inspiring to read. And it wasn't realistic because like all the things I said I wanted, I was like, I want to be making my movie and my TV show. My TV show is on its 3rd season. I'm in the process of making my movie. I'm a theater comic who's selling out. I have a podcast with millions of listeners. Like, you know, it was like a really ambitious dream. Like, all of the dreams do not come at once. And so ChatGPT was like trying to jam all these dreams in one day. They're like, yeah, and then you're casting your movie, and then you're going into your writer's room, and then you're meditating, and then you're spending time with the love of your life on the couch, and then you at night go to your theater show, and then you come home and you cook dinner. And it was like, there was actually not enough time in the day for all my dreams. And it was like funny to watch ChatGPT try and like jam it in there and not understand like the technicalities of like how much time a theater show would take and how much time it would actually take to like go to a writer's room, and how like any one of those things would take up a whole day. But it was fun to do. So if you guys have big dreams, or any dreams, small dreams, little dreams, whatever dreams, it's fun to have ChatGPT help you just kind of manifest, right? We're getting back in the manifestation. I've been leaning back into the law of attraction, because I've been looking at my year and I'm like, this isn't going great. You know, this is not going great. And the common denominator here is me. So I cannot be like, all these bad things are happening to me and it has nothing to do with me. It feels like I'm in the middle of a karmic cleanse, like a karmic reckoning is going on for your girl. I don't know if it's this life, a past life, it might be this life. Like I've said before, you guys, I'm not that great. I do my best, but I'm not that great. And so like maybe there's some karmic reckoning shit going on. You know, I moved to Palm Beach. The shit happens. My dog dies. The Pilates studio shuts down. Everything's not perfect. And it feels really uncomfortable. But what I've been thinking about lately is the law of attraction, right? Because what you do want and what you don't want are the things that you will attract. So if you think about what you don't want too much, it will happen. And I can't tell you how many times I thought about how there was no world Biggie could ever die. I was like, it's not going to happen. And if it does, he's going to be like 20, 18 at the earliest. Like I fully like in my head was like, there's no way it's happening. It's not going to happen. I was so deeply terrified that it was going to happen that it's not like I made it happen with my thoughts, but like kinda, you know? And then like, I don't know, just I really believe in the law of attraction, and I think what you want and what you don't want will find you equally as fast if you give them attention. And I think I need to shift focus to the things that I do want and the things I do want to draw in, and the life that I do want to create for myself, co-create with myself, with the universe, because obviously I am not the only person creating this experience. But I do have to listen to universal signs too. And I think there's been some like pretty strong universal signs that Palm Beach might not be the place that mama's going to thrive, right? I think I get very excited about the idea of New York. And listen, I tried really hard to make this work. I really did. I really, really tried. I applied for day jobs. I really did. I want you guys to know I wasn't just like talking out my ass. Like I did apply for a job at a rehab. I did try and tap into my network and get like a job and like make things happen here. And like quite literally just people didn't respond to my applications. And that's another sign from the universe. Like me trying to like shrink myself a little bit, and not even shrink myself, just do something that's not aligned with me. It's going to get rejected by the universe, right? And I think I get excited about the idea of New York, because the reality is like, as much as I very much needed this break from stand up. And I have, for all intents and purposes this year, taken a huge break. Like I have not written a bunch of new stuff. Like I said earlier, I have a lot to write, and I will write that, and I will create that, and it will hopefully be good. But like I haven't performed any new stuff. I've been doing Raina's shows, old jokes. You know, I just want to do the hits because I want her shows to be as good as possible. It's a real lazy way for me to just like phone it in, keep myself sharp, and like not be scared to hold a mic on stage, but then like also not grow as a comic. So I've been really pushing myself down, and I've been really sedating myself in my career, and I feel very excited and called to New York. I feel called to go do stand up there, and I feel like I would grow as a comic and a person, and I think it's big and scary, and it's always like kind of caused me anxiety because it's so noisy and it's so smelly, and I get very overwhelmed by the subways and everything that's going on, and just like the sheer number of people there kind of freaks me out. Like New York kind of freaks me out, but I think the things that scare you are the things you have to go towards, right? Like New York has always kind of scared me, and I think I need to be like Olay, like a bull, put my horns on because I'm a fucking Taurus, and just be a bull and go give that city a try. And I think the reality is going to be like, possibly I make it through summer here. Maybe I don't. Maybe I find a studio sooner. But I think just like a little pied-à-terre in the city is calling mama's name. And I think that's the next step for me. And I you know, I fucking hate Palm Beach. I hate this place. It's not for me, you guys. The people are weird here. It's a strange place. It's a very strange place. And I think if I whisper, they won't hear me. I think if I whisper, nobody will hear me talking shit about them because they're all right there, but they're all the fucking lizard people are here. All the lizard people are here, and they're very spooky, and all they care about is money and more money and other weird shit, other weird shit. Like, you guys, the fucking Jeffrey Epstein survivor's trial just happened today, like 2 car wheels from my house. I'm like, this whole thing is, I can't get going on that again because it's so upsetting. But like the fact that that's happening in my backyard makes me soul sick. The whole thing makes me soul sick. And the fact that people just kind of go on like nothing happened and there's been no consequences. That's the craziest fucking thing to me. Like, how did all this shit come out? I feel like the not even the government, because it's bigger than the government. Let me put my tinfoil hat on here. It's bigger than the government. It's the people that control the world. Basically tested us to see if we would start a revolution. They're like, hey, let's let them know that everyone that they respect and vote for and trust to run the country is engaging in a satanic pedophile cult of some sort of child sacrifice, such abuse ring. And let's see if they revolt. Let's tell them the most horrific shit we could ever tell them and see if they revolt. And then we didn't, you guys. We did nothing because we're so sedated by our devices and we're just like, oh, whatever. People made TikToks about it. They're like, let's try and make it funny. Let's find the silver lining. We did the best we could to laugh our way out of it as a society because we're so oppressed. We're just mentally oppressed. But that shit's going on in my backyard. That's, like I said, it's 2 cartwheels away. The courthouse is down the street. That's fucking scary to me. I don't like that. And listen, I'm not saying I'm going to go to New York and bad things don't happen in New York. We've all seen Gangs of New York, We've seen Leo's acting in Gangs of New York and his little fist. No, I'm just kidding. I love Leo. But it's like, yeah, bad shit happens everywhere. That's the world. And I'm not, I'm not dumb to that, but at least there's culture there and there's good food and there's interesting people doing interesting things and they're not so hyper obsessed. I mean, listen, there's an obsession with wealth and money and status everywhere in the world, and there always has been and there always will be, and that's fine. That's just how our society works. But I think there's less of one there because more people are grinding, more people are hustling, more people are getting shit done, and I want to be a part of that energy and that flow and see where that might take me. And I think this year has been a gap year, and nothing, everything happens for a reason, and I needed to take some time off to just like, I don't know. I guess I was in my head, I was going to feel a bit more stable this year. But that hasn't been the reality. So I don't know what's in store for me or my future, but I'm excited about it. And I can tell you what, I'm going to take over the fucking world. Also, I need to talk to you guys about the Patreon. I know a lot of you aren't subscribed to it. So if you're not, just jump ahead like 30 seconds. I've been talking to a lot of friends and creators, and generally speaking, $5 is the lowest. You should put a tier, and so I think I'm going to do a $5 tier and a $7 tier, and I'm gonna if you are at the $3 tier, and I'm gonna see if I can grandfather you in. I think I can. If you can't afford $5, I totally understand. I'm just a little baby business, and I'm trying to keep myself afloat, and not just like be in the red to make this, because I want to make this for you guys, and I want to make it for me because I have a lot of fun doing it, and I just love the little community that we've built. Also, I have another idea for you guys. I've seen some of you that are doing the artist way say you wanted to start a group together. If you wanted to go onto the Patreon, what I can do is you guys can raise your hand and say, I'm doing the artist way. I want to be a part of the group. And then I can put us all in a chat, and then we can all chat about the work that we did this week. And this week, you guys, for the artist way is the hardest fucking week. So I want you guys to be ready for that. I know we're not talking about the artist way yet because we're not there yet. We're just 30 little minutes into this podcast. We're not getting to the artist way, but you guys, this one might be a hair of a shorter episode, and I'm so sorry. Don't get mad at me, but I just, I have to pack. And I have to go to New York, and it's nighttime, and I also should eat at some point. Okay, 1 second. Okay, sorry guys. I actually had to take a break to eat because I was gonna faint. Isn't that crazy? Okay, I'm not an adult. I can't take care of myself. Okay, so a few of you guys wrote in Badvice this week, and I know we're skipping ahead, but I really like 2 of the questions, so I want to get into these because they're meaty. Okay. One of them is my boyfriend still follows and interacts with a ton of thirst traps on Instagram, and it bugs me. Am I being insecure for caring, or is that a fair boundary to have in a relationship? Some of them are girls he used to sleep with. Some of them are girls he just knows. Some of them are celebs. What's your take on this? Haven't I had this issue? Haven't I had this issue? With you know who. First of all, I need to know how old he is, because this might just be like a 20-something thing to do. But here's the thing. When I got into the relationship I'm in now, I never looked at who he was following on Instagram. I never cared. I was like, it's none of my business. And we were like months into the relationship before I finally looked. And when I tell you, it looked like he went to an all-girls school. His following looked like he attended an all-girls school. My head fell off my shoulders and rolled down the fucking street into the Hudson, because I was like, what do you mean this is what your followers look like? And then it got worse when I clicked on them and I saw he was liking all their bikini pics and pics of them on a yacht, pics of them in Saint-Tropez, and the besties, I lost my fucking mind. I actually didn't lose my mind so bad the first time, because I was like, just clean it up. Clean it up. This is not behavior that we accept. I also didn't think at this big old age, and here's the thing, I'm a big old age and he's not. I didn't think at this big old age we had to tell people how to act. We had to tell people this is bad behavior. And here's one area where I was so spoiled in my marriage. That man, Chris, he would not even look at another woman when she was talking to him. She could be talking to him and he would be looking into the distance like he was seasick on a choppy fishing boat at sea. Like he was trying to keep from throwing up everywhere on a wrecked ass shrimping boat in the middle of the Atlantic during a hurricane. The way he locked eyes on the horizon and not that bitch at all was a dream that I took for granted. And here's my real opinion on this. It's a seepage of energy, right? When they're following other women and they're interacting with other women, it is a seepage of energy. And you're letting these ladies know, hey, I'm still here. Hey, still thinking of you. Hey, like your titties on this fucking yacht. Hey, love your ass in this fucking sundress. Hey. Remember when we fucked? Remember I'm here? Hey, just want to remind you quick that I'm here. Hey, yeah, I'm in a relationship, but who knows for how long? That's what you're saying. And here's the thing. Guys don't think of it this way. They actually don't. They're just like dumb. They're like, like they're actually fucking dumb. Guys are actually fucking dumb. So you have to be so clear that this is a boundary, right? And so the first conversation I had in my current relationship was stop liking these hoes pictures. I didn't realize I needed to also say unfollow them. Stop. Like what in the Sam Hill's going on here? I didn't know I needed to say that. But then months passed by because I didn't check again. I just was like, he did the thing. Obviously, he did the thing. And then I checked again and he's still following all these whores. And I was like, oh my God, this is like embarrassing that I even have to say this. This is embarrassing that I have to articulate this boundary. It's embarrassing that men don't know it's a boundary. It's embarrassing that they think it's okay behavior. It's embarrassing that they don't see how they're embarrassing us. How behind our backs, these girls are like, oh yeah, that girl's partner is out here liking my shit, DMing me, interacting with me. Like, you got to be 10 toes down in this fucking relationship. You got to be both feet fucking in. I don't want a single fucking hangnail hanging out of this relationship. I need both feet in, okay? And that to me is both feet in. You don't get to interact with girls on Instagram that you wish you fucked, that you used to fuck, that you want to fuck, like that you hit on once or twice. Like no, that's over. And if it's not over, you're not respecting this relationship, and that is a boundary cross. And it's a very clear boundary cross, okay? This has been an issue in my relationship, and I'm not trying to put him on blast. This is a conversation that I think is important to have because I know there are men that listen to this podcast, and I want you to understand as men, when you get into a meaningful partnership, it is of utmost importance that you stop following the whores on Instagram, the girls you used to fuck, the girls you wish you could fuck, the girls you like. you really got to stop following those hoes. Like, that is a very, very, very clear boundary for any self-respecting woman. And any woman that's like, oh, I don't care if da, da, da. And there are some women who are okay with open relationships. They're okay with, you know, another woman having paws on their man. They're okay with their man looking at other girls. There are women with that are less fucking psychotic than me, but I'm fucking psychotic, and like, what's mine is mine. It's nobody else's, and I don't want the world to think you're available. And this went on for like longer than I would care to admit in our relationship. Because I wasn't like hounding him. I had to like actually hound him. And here's the thing. I don't know if it's because he's 27 or if it's because he's a Gemini. Like, I don't know if I should blame the zodiac or the actual birth certificate, but at some point something's got to get blamed, because it's hoe ass fucking behavior. It's hoe ass fucking behavior. First of all, I don't follow men that I fucked on Instagram. Are you kidding me? I'd be following the entire Los Angeles Lakers. Like, can you fucking please imagine for 1 minute how fucking embarrassing that would be? First of all, not the present Lakers, obviously. Like, this is like, it's so fucking embarrassing to just follow all the people you used to fuck. That's like such trash behavior. Like, have a past. Nobody cares that you have a past. Don't bring it into your present, especially when you're in a relationship. But like, being a whole ass hoe and having it all documented of like every girl you've ever had sex with or every guy I've ever had sex. Can you fucking imagine? First of all, it would be an embarrassing number for my following count. Like, I would just be like grossed out with myself. Like, why am I following so many people? And also, you don't need to keep up with them. Just because they were inside you once or twice doesn't mean you need to know they're like, you know, when their baby's born or when their mom passed away. Like, we don't need to keep track on all these people. That's not what they were in our life for. They were in our life to come and go, to have a good one night stand, a 2-night stand, a 4-week fling, whatever it was, like a 5-month, whatever it was. They were there for a season. They're not here now. We're here now. And if they're also here because you're liking their shit, I don't want, like, every person you like is in our relationship then. Every single bitch you like on the internet may as well just like live in our apartment with us, because she's in this bitch. She's in this fucking relationship, all right? So no, don't let your fucking man follow whores on the internet. Absolutely fucking not. That's not behavior that we're taking in the year 2026, our Lord and Savior. We are not letting these men follow fucking whores. Sorry. Also, if you are like really hot and on the internet, congratulations. Like, that's great. Obviously everyone hates you, but way to be really hot and on the internet. That's like super impactful. I'm sure like that'll be going down in history books. Okay. Oh, this one's interesting. Okay. My partner is really wonderful. We live together. We've been together for 6 years, and he's perfect. He cooks, he cleans, he takes care of most things. But one thing I hate the most is he is super close with his ex. At what point does staying friends become a red flag? And I love this question because people think being friends with your ex is a red flag. I am of the ilk that being friends with your ex is the most mature thing you can do. I think that if somebody was in your life for a significant amount of time, they grew up with you, they loved you through really gnarly shit, they held you while you were down, they fed you, they fucked you, they took care of you, you built a life with that person. I think it's really, I think it's great to stay friends. I'm still friends with Chris, and Chris is like, our friendship is not like, we do not talk every day. We do not talk every week. We barely fucking talk, but like a non-negotiable coming into this relationship that I'm in now, I'm like, I am friends with my ex, and I'm friendly with him. I'm not friends with him. We're not like kikiing. We're not catching up. We're not shooting the shit. Like, when our dog was dying, we were talking the most, and since then we really haven't. And the reality is, he is in another relationship, I'm in another relationship. We're both respectful to, you know, each other's partners. If we do talk, I'll always ask how his girlfriend is. He'll ask how my partner is. Like, if we do talk, we're very respectful and we have very clear boundaries, and there is no inkling of interest from either of us. It's just like two people who once shared a life together, who no longer share a life together, being kind to each other, because life is short. But it has to be platonic. That's the thing. It can't be like, It has to be platonic and it has to be mutual. It can't be like if he really wanted her back and then she said no and then they're still friends. That cannot be because then it's different, right? Then it's like, is he still sticking around to shoot his shot? Like, it had to be like a mutual separation. And the only experience I can speak from is my own. And ours was a mutual separation. And so we were able to, you know, maintain a little bit of a friendship. Nothing crazy at all. Like, it revolved squarely around around Biggie, and once Biggie passed, we really haven't spoken. I've talked to him a few times about the ashes and where we're going to spread them, and that's it. So it has to be really minimal interactions. It has to be respectful of you and your relationship, and if it's not those things, I don't think it should exist, and that's another boundary you should draw fucking boundaries, babe. Listen, remember when we used to just let people walk all over us? Those days are behind us, all right? Draw a fucking boundary like you're a kid on a sidewalk with a piece of chalk. Draw that shit. Believe in that shit. Think it's the cool, like, whatever your heart is telling you, you have to follow that. Because here's the thing. Our intuition is the strongest fucking thing we have, okay? Our intuition. I was listening to a podcast the other day and there was a psychologist on there talking about intuition and basically that gut feeling that we get, right? We get this like gut feeling, like something's wrong, something's not right. It's, first of all, never fucking wrong. That gut feeling is never wrong, and here's why. Because that gut feeling, before humans had language, before we had podcasts, that's for sure, before we had language, like when we were cave people and we didn't have language, that gut instinct was what protected us from dangers, right? So we immediately could sense if someone or something was dangerous based on that gut instinct. And then as women, we have a very strong gut instinct, and we know what's right and we know what's wrong, and we know when something is off. We feel it in our fucking spines, and I wish we didn't. I wish the back of my neck didn't fucking burn when I knew something was wrong. I wish there wasn't a pit in my stomach so deep that I wasn't even sure if I had a bottom. Like, it just feels like I'm a black hole straight into hell. Like, that pit goes so fucking deep. But if you don't listen to that pit in your stomach, and you don't listen to the little voice in your head telling you something is wrong, sound the alarms, you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for it. Because as women especially, and as men, I think it's gender non-exclusive, but we rationalize our way out of gut feelings now because we get tricked with language, right? So you have a feeling about a guy. You meet a guy, you like him, there's a vibe, but you have a little bit of a gut feeling. There might be like a little like, he's dangerous. He might not seem honest. Like whatever it is that he might be. And then you tell yourself it's different, right? You tell yourself it's different. Because you want to, because you like his leather jacket and his fucking full head of hair, and you like the joke that he cracked, and you like his full lips, and you know, it'd be really nice to wake up next to a man like this. It would be really, it'd bring you a lot of pride to introduce this man, this physical specimen to your family. You like make this story up about this guy that's different than who he is. And that's called limerence. That's where you have a crush on somebody and you like create a whole new person out of like no facts and just like your fantasy and imagination, right? So you can like tell yourself a completely different story about someone, even if they're showing you, or you like have a gut feeling that it's bad. And then what you do is you convince yourself this person's good, this person's safe, I'm going to spend some time with this person, you know, it's fine, whatever. And then, lo and behold, they always do the thing that you knew they were going to do the second you had that gut instinct. The second you had a feeling in your gut, like, I can't trust this motherfucker and I don't know why. I can't put my finger on why I don't trust this motherfucker, but I don't. There is always going to be a reckoning. There's always going to be a reckoning. And that's just a biological fact, right? Like, our body is hardwired to tell us when we're in danger. And if you ignore that hardwiring and you ignore that sign, you're going to be in danger. It's going to fucking blow up in your face. Let's be so for fucking real. It's going to blow up. It's going to embarrass you. It might hurt you. Men are dangerous. Like, so you have to, and listen, we got a long way from the original question, which is having a relationship with your ex a bad thing or something you should draw a boundary on. But what I'm talking about now is this gut instinct that cannot be ignored, and I don't think we should ever ignore it. because I don't want you to get yourself into a situation where you like are like, I kind of felt like something was off the whole time. I kind of felt like he still loved his ex. And then like, God forbid the ex like breaks up with her boyfriend or whatever. And then is like, oh, I guess we'll give this another chance. And he's like, see ya. And then you just wasted all this time telling yourself you're fucking crazy and nothing was going on between them and gaslighting yourself and allowing him to gaslight you. And then all of a sudden years of your life have gone by and this guy just like goes running back to his ex. So on this one specifically, you have to trust your gut. I would imagine the gut in like Chris's relationship. I would hope that his girlfriend has a gut instinct that it's fine and it's safe and that nothing is ever going to happen between us ever again, because it's not. And like, it is true that I can love him from the bottom of my heart and wish him like all the best in the whole world. And also know that the ship has sailed for both of us, you know? And I think he's a wonderful person and I respect that relationship and he respects mine and so on and so forth. So I think you got to use your gut on this one, right? You got to use your gut on this one. Follow your gut. If your gut's telling you something's off, it's off. All right. You don't have to talk yourself out of that. When you guys have instincts, don't talk yourself out of it unless you're schizophrenic or unless something's going on and you're a little bipolar or something's like actually medically wrong with you. Then like don't listen to the thoughts in your head. Well, also don't listen to the thoughts in your head because the thoughts in your head are not you, right? You understand this? Did you guys ever read so the book that I'm thinking about is Untethered Soul. And it's largely about the idea that you are not your thoughts, emotions, or inner chatter. You're the awareness observing them. It goes deep into detaching from the voice in your head and not letting your mind run the whole show. So this has been like an interesting practice for me in my mindfulness, right? When I hear, because you do hear voices in your head and you have an inner monologue and you're like, wait a minute, but I'm listening to that inner monologue. So that inner monologue can't actually be me because I'm the one observing it, right? So if you hear a voice that like, and a lot of times it's negative thoughts, right? It's telling you like, you're too old to do this. You're not smart enough to do this. You're not funny enough to do this. You're not pretty enough to do this. You're not, or you're going to run out of time. You're never going to finish this. Like those thoughts, those aren't you. That's just like where those thoughts coming from because you're the one observing and listening to those thoughts. So when you practice active detachment from those thoughts, your life gets a lot easier because you learn to not be tethered to those thoughts. You know, you're like, oh, I am not a culmination of my thoughts. Culmination. I don't know. It should be word of the week. I am not my thoughts. I'm the one observing those. And if you can take the space between your thoughts and your, you know, observation of them, you kind of get to figure out who you are. So that's a difference between guts and your gut and your thoughts, right? Like, your gut's always right. Your thoughts are not always right. Your thoughts are oftentimes wrong and you need to separate yourself from them because this can be a very bad neighborhood up here and we all know that. Okay, we're going to get into word of the week. I told you this one was going to be a little bit shorter. I don't know if it's actually even that much shorter. I kind of yapped a lot. Those questions really fired me up. You guys, if you can please send me more Badvice questions like that, I would love that because I get fucking fired up. All right. I get fired up. All right, you guys, the word of the week is macrocosm. Noun, a representation on a large scale, the universe envisioned in its totality. In addition, a large system that reflects one of its component systems is a macrocosm. 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 All right, besties, if I lose you here, I lose you here. I love you so much. Oh, you guys, I have to ask you a big favor. Can you please go to Spotify or Apple or YouTube, wherever, Spotify or Apple, and give me 5 stars if you like it, please, please, please. And then if you would go to YouTube and subscribe. If you're not already subscribed to my YouTube, it's Brittany Schmitt Comedy, BritTanySchmitt. No D, I took all those in college. Comedy. If you guys could subscribe, we're so close to 50,000 subscribers, and that's very exciting. I think when I started the podcast, we were at like 42,000, so we've grown a little bit, and that's very exciting, and I just am excited to grow together. So if you guys could go subscribe to my channel, like and subscribe. I love you so much, and I will see you next week. Okay, bye. All right, you guys. Let me snap into my other personality here, the artist way. This week is going to be the hardest week. Let me just tell you that now. And if you didn't hear me earlier, I will say it again. If you guys do want to do a chat, actually, this week is not the week to do the chat because it's the reading deprivation week. The following week, we can do a chat on the Patreon if you guys want. Just DM me on the Talkin Schmitt page and let me know if that's something you want. I can set it up. Okay, you guys, this week is a donkey kick and a half, all right? So basically, one of the things it talks about, it's recovering a sense of integrity. And one of the things that we're going to learn as we keep doing the morning pages, and I've actually been noticing this lately. So when I'm not actively doing the morning pages, I always journal. And when I journal, I will say broad things like, I'm okay, everything's fine, I'm grateful, life's good, God's got it. Like, that's literally like, someone's going to read back all my journals and be like, this is the most boring person alive. She said the same thing every day for 47 years. Like, they're going to think I'm the most boring person in the world. But the reason the morning pages are so effective is because you have to write so much. It doesn't give you the room to just say, like, you have to say more than I'm good. You have to expand. Are you good? Are you actually okay? Because okay, when you say I'm okay, you're usually hiding something, whether it's anger, fear, hurt, whatever it is. If ever you find yourself journaling that you're okay, make sure you explore that and figure out how you're actually feeling. And, if you're a little numbed out on Lexapro like me, you got to get in there, because I promise the feelings are still there. They're just being pushed down like a beach ball underwater. Okay. And the morning pages will not allow us to get away with this evasion. So we tend to avoid them. And like I was talking about earlier, like during Badvice, if you have a sneaking suspicion your partner's doing some fucking shit, the morning pages won't let you just live with them. The morning pages will make you act on them, because you'll start journaling about it enough to uncover how you actually feel about it. And then all of a sudden you're going to confront it and you're going to have an uncomfortable conversation. And that's why a lot of people stop doing the morning pages, because they know they're about to break loose in some capacity. And so just watch yourself with that, because there is a tendency to not do the thing that is going to help you break free. So just make sure you're being honest with yourself in the morning pages. Yeah, basically, in short, extreme emotions of any kind, the very thing that the morning pages are superb for processing, are the usual triggers for avoiding the pages themselves. And when you're writing those pages, make sure you do little affirmations like, to thine own self be true. Just like any affirmations between you and Creator. God, I want to be a channel for you. God, please open me up to be a channel for you. Please receive. May we co-create together today. Just any affirmations to kind of continue to open up that channel. Write those down, because you're in the process of identifying self, right? And inevitably that involves a loss as well as a gain. We discover our boundaries. We were talking about a lot of boundaries earlier today. By definition, separate us from our fellows. So yeah, it's a bit of a spiritual emergency, a bit of a surrender. You do have to let go of all the kind of judgments you have about yourself, or the thoughts you had about yourself. Like, no, I'm put together and I'm great and I'm a good lawyer and I'm a good mom and you have to just let whatever comes out come out. Like, you might be really uncomfortable in your job. You might hate your fucking husband. You might hate your fucking wife. Like, I don't know what you're going through, but you're going to find out through these pages. Okay. So shifts in tastes and perception frequently accompany shifts in identity. So you're going to start to notice that you're going through your closet and cleaning out, or you're getting rid of clutter, or you're organizing bathrooms. I literally didn't fully move into this place that I live in until last week. I had shit in the closet. I had clutter everywhere, because I think I was still in denial that I lived here. And I finally organized my bathroom shelves. I got all my shit in order, and I threw some old clothes away. And you're going to notice this, because you're making room for what's next, and you're giving organization to the chaos, so that your mind doesn't have that to-do list of no, I can't do this creative thing because I actually have to still unpack this bathroom closet that I haven't unpacked since I moved here however many months ago, 6 months ago, 4 months ago, whatever. It feels like it's been 500 years. This fucking hellfire acid bath of a fucking life in Palm Beach feels like it's been my whole entire life. I feel like I could write a Bible on how bad it's been. But yeah, anyway, when you're tossing out the old and unworkable, we make way for the new and suitable. Your old life has crashed and burned. Your new life isn't apparent yet. You may feel yourself to be temporarily without a vehicle. Just keep walking. That's so important. Keep going. Keep doing the work. This is very uncomfortable. This week is where people back out. Okay. This is the fourth step in AA. This is the hardest part, where people don't really want to do this. They don't really want to confront themselves, and they back out. Okay. The analogy that I use is that once we engage in the process of morning pages in artist states, we begin to move at such a velocity that we do not even realize the pace. Just as travelers on a jet are seldom aware of their speed unless they hit a patch of turbulence, so too travelers on the artist way are seldom aware of the speed of their growth. This is a form of denial that can tempt us to abort the recovery process that isn't happening to us. Yes, it is. All right. There will be a change in energy patterns. Many areas of your life that previously seemed to fit will stop fitting. Half your wardrobe will start to look funny. Conditioned as we are to accept other people's definitions of us, the emerging individuality can seem to us like self-will run riot. It is not. We like to numb ourselves with sugar, alcohol, drugs, overwork, underplay, bad relations, toxic sex, under-exercise, over TV, undersleep, many very varied forms of junk food for the soul. You need to clear room in your life for the Creator's action and the flow of God. So this week is reading deprivation. And this is a tough one. You guys can't read. The rules have been updated since this book has been written. You're not supposed to read. You're not supposed to go on social media. You're not supposed to look at emails. You're not supposed to watch TV. You are not supposed to take in any media for a whole week. And I can already hear you guys rioting. I can hear you screaming, being like, that's fucking impossible. How am I going to do that? Take Instagram and TikTok off your phone, first of all. Okay? Don't pick up a book you haven't in years anyway. Who cares? Don't pick up a book and don't watch TV, because what's going to happen is your channel is going to open up. Okay. And you are going to start to have your own ideas, and your head is going to start to fill with things, and you're going to start to be a little more creative. And like I said, you're going to clean up. You're going to organize. You're going to paint a shelf. You're going to build something. You're going to do something, because we're humans and that's what we're conditioned to do. But we are constantly sedated, like I said earlier, by social media and just any media. And we like to fill our heads with other people's chatter so we don't have to think about our lives and think about ourselves. And this is the hardest week. It's going to be so hard for me. I'm going to New York. I'm not going to be able to post about it at all. Things that you can do instead of, being inundated with social media and that kind of stuff. You can knit, you can cook, you can fix a bike, you can go on a bike ride, you can watercolor, you can paint the bedroom, you can rearrange the kitchen, work out, meditate, have friends to dinner, get the stereo working, go dancing, repot some plants. You can do it. All right. And here's the thing. If you break the reading deprivation, I need you to talk about why. Was it a fit? Was it a tantrum? Did you freak out? Also, if we do start a chat, we will start next week, because obviously I don't want us on the Patreon this week, so we can follow the rules. But if we do start a chat, I want you guys to be honest in there about why and how you broke the reading deprivation. I don't know if anyone's still doing the Artist Way with me. It might be 3 of us, but either way, I'm having fun. I'm glad I'm doing it. I'm glad we're staying accountable. I love you so much, besties, and I will see you next week.